All praises due to the Most High family. We back with another Acres anime review. I just finished watching season 4, episode 10 of Reincarnated as a Slime. Family, I have a hot take. And it's gonna upset some people. But respectfully, Reincarnated as a Slime is the new One Piece. Oh my god. What? What is he saying? Family, it's a hot take, family. I know not everybody's gonna agree with that. And I'm not saying it's gonna be goated #1 of all time, because in my ranking, One Piece is easily like top 5. Easily top 5, discussion for top, I'm not gonna argue too much if you really need it to be #1. You feel me? But it's firmly seated in my top 3 anime I've ever seen. One Piece is, right? I'm not saying that Slime is gonna reach those heights, but in terms of the way that this man is conquering the world, it feels Luffy-like, it feels Straw Hat-like, right? Like I need a Tempest flag, right? Okay, really quick, family. Before we dive deep into it, we're on the journey to 100 YouTube subscribers, family. You have been helping us out. We have been approaching there in a strong surge. We are making our way to 100 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, family, help us out because it's free and it really helps us out. Okay, let's get into it, family. So, Yuki and Maribel pulled up on us in these ruins, and they found out. Okay, because first of all, and correct me if I'm wrong, family, if anybody's been keeping track of these reviews, and if you remember off top, go ahead and call me out. But I think I remember, if memory serves me, I knew Maribel was gonna find out that she was outclassed. What? I knew Rimuru was gonna embarrass her. Almost. It's not quite on the same level that he embarrassed Clayman, but it's up there, man. She had no idea what she was getting into. So, family, they pull up, right? First of all, it was crazy. I feel like I forgot that Gopta could fuse with Ranga. That was crazy as hell. But that was cool. Because he kind of like assumed Ranga's body in a werewolf form, but he definitely had Gopta's personality, right? And they were fighting some knight. And he was heated about Glinda, because he thought we took her out and that she wasn't alive anymore. So he was trying to like avenge her. But we finally calmed him down and then informed him, hey, Glinda's okay, and then he chilled out, right? But this is way after the fact. This is way after, the conflict had been resolved. But Gopta fuses Ranga, was fighting that night, heated behind Glinda. Who pulled up on Shion? Oh, Yuki did at first. Yuki pulled up on Shion, and Yuki was the interesting part of the episode, family. That was crazy. Yuki pulled up on Shion, though, and he kind of beat her up, right? Or knocked her out. And Rimuru was a little concerned about Shion. But for the most part, family, Rimuru like totally embarrassed Maribel. She sent, if you remember this character named Guy from the council meeting, and he was embarrassed by either Shuna, or I think he was the one actually embarrassed by Hinata. So she sent like a zombie guy at Rimuru, and he totally tore him up because he realized he was, beyond saving. So he just ripped him up to intimidate Maribel, and it worked. She was like, oh my God, what magic did you use? What? She was like, did I miscalculate something here? And she did. Then she tried to use her greed on Rimuru. It totally didn't work because she has a unique skill. And I forgot this detail about Rimuru, but he has a master skill. So her skill doesn't work on him. He analyzed it, broke it down, and she was useless. Then she tried to power herself up. She was still really useless. At which point she used Yuki to come and save her. Then she basically dumped her energy into Yuki's body while she fled. So now we have a supercharged Yuki. And what we learned about Yuki while he was fighting Rimuru was he has an anti-skill, anti-magic, no, it's an anti-skill skill. He has anti-skill is the right way to say it, right? But basically your techniques don't work on him. So none of Rimuru's, and Rimuru's got like a laundry list of techniques, right? None of those will work on Yuki. More, Yuki's physical attacks, basically, we saw he kicked Rimuru's arm and it just went flying. And Rimuru was like, oh wow, my defense doesn't work on his attacks. But it took upon further investigation, family, what Rimuru learned was that his absolute defense, like his body defense, his natural, like, you know, his natural defense skills, they work on his weapons. And he's using swords and knives to attack Rimuru, right? So he can use, those weapons don't work on Rimuru. Only physical attacks from Yuki's physical body work on Rimuru. The opposite is true in the converse, right? Rimuru's skills and physical attacks don't work on Yuki. Rimuru has to use weapons to damage Yuki, right? So they have opposite strategies here. But anyhow, Rimuru's goated, so he defeats Yuki. In a weird fashion, Yuki regains his consciousness. Like, I don't trust him the way that he regained consciousness. That was crazy, right? But it seemed too good to be true. Like, we knocked him out, he woke up and he was like, oh wow, like I'm not taken over by greed anymore. And so the explanation was that Maribel just happened to catch him while his anti-skill was not active. And he was like, okay, like I'm never gonna let that happen again. Rimuru somehow trusts him to track Maribel down, but he certainly did that. He certainly did that. And Maribel's done. She's not even making it out the ruins. I think they're on the lower level, which is, you know, apropos, because I think that's the gravesite level. And that is going to be Maribel's gravesite. Yuki took her out. He proved that her greed doesn't work because his greed is more. Yuki's not the character we thought he was. What the heck was he doing like as this teacher for these kids earlier in the series? He said he created anti-skill. Maribel's like, what do you mean created? Like, weren't we all gifted our skills? Even Rimuru, gifted skills, earned skills. Nobody created their own skills. Yuki did. And then he's talking about, yeah, I just faked being under your greed control. You could never, even if I didn't have anti-skill, you couldn't control me because my greed is more. So Yuki's like playing the long game. But as for now, I don't know. Rimuru probably like half trusts him. Rimuru is going to now accompany Milim in handling this Chaos Dragon in the next episode. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, family, it's just, I don't know. What a great series. I'm just happy that I've been, I've just been enjoying the journey, man. I'm gonna just leave it at that, family. All praises due to the Most High. All praises due to the Most High. Peace and love.